Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to try doing some 3D blooms in coasters. I've tried this in the past and I was not successful. So I went and I bought some Let's Resin alcohol inks and I want to try it with these. I have never used alcohol inks before. So, well, it's kind of cool. Gives you a little thing on what they look like. What colors do I want to use? I was kind of hoping they might be in some kind of order. There's turquoise. Ooh. Let's try magenta. Yeah, we'll try magenta and maybe something contrasting. Cerulean. We'll try these two and we'll see how they work. So I've got that. I gotta find the magenta. And of course, you know, it's going to be the last one I pull out because that's the way it always goes. Black, brown, coffee. There we go. Dark magenta. And then the molds I'm going to be using are from Let's Resin. So I'm hoping, I'm going to try this with 8 ounces of resin, which is probably overkill for these, but I'm going to make the holder also. And of course, I'm going to try this. So give me a few minutes, let me get my resin mixed, and then we'll get started. Okay, it is time to demold. I used the 4-hour resin because that's all I have left. So I expect a lot of bubbles in this because that resin is bad. I don't know, did I just get a bad batch, or do I not know what I'm doing? I don't know. I did not have this problem with the clear glossy resin by T-Expert, but this is the 4-hour demold. It's actually been about 10 hours, so let's take a look. First of all, I like the way this looks from this side. I can already see a 3D effect, so I am hoping that the other side looks just as good. Wow. I did get the 3D effect. It kinda looks like a flower. Let's try the next one, because this one looks nice from the back. That one too. That one looks nice. Of course, you know, I've got bubbles. I knew I would. I have got to buy some new resin. Oh, look at that one. And this one looks like a mess. But you can kind of see a little where the white, the leftover white, kind of flowed through the clear. But you can also see I got some bubbles. So let's see how bad this turned out. Look at that. It's got kind of a cloudy effect. Looks like little wispy clouds with tons of air bubbles. Huh. It's definitely different. I do like the coasters, and I will be trying this technique again. But I like it. Well, that's all I had for today. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. Like and subscribe if you're happy with the content I put out. And we'll see you again soon. Bye.